I'm about to speak to Ewart from DEC to find out a little bit more about his company. Hi Ewart, how are you doing? So tell us a little bit more about DEC.
Hi Rosie, I hope you're well.
DEC is a family-owned company based in Switzerland, or the headquarters is based in Switzerland, just outside Lucerne. It was established in around about 1987 by Yves and Frederick Dietrich. Essentially the company generates most of its work through the pharmaceutical industry and the chemical industry, producing process equipment for that industry.
What sort of products do you supply at the moment as well, Ewart?
The key process that we supply is the powder transfer system. That was really the cornerstone of the business that Yves and Frederick started. It's now in the industry it's known as the PTS. It does what it says, it transfers powder. The benefit of the system is that it transfers powder very, very safely and uses what's called dense phase processing. That means that you cannot generate an explosion. That's the biggest benefit. It's really designed to transfer any powder from either things like big bag stations, into vessels, into anything that essentially needs moving from one process to another process. We also get involved in obviously powder filling processes. That would include things like the drum containment system, obviously, as it said, for containing drums with toxic products and moving products from one station to another station. We get involved in powder emptying systems where we would use our feeders, powder feeding systems. They would include things like the powder flex, transbatch, and the PTS feeder. That would give a much more accurate feed into any particular process. Within that group, we are bit by bit developing our own microdosing products. There will be a new range of microdosing equipment coming out. Following on from the PTS systems, we have really quite a game-changing system called the batch mixer. The batch mixer itself has huge benefits. It's very much a new technology within blending of powders. We can do very, very small turnover products, so we can put less than 1.1% of product into a bulk and get a very, very good distributive mix. It was developed by both DEC and one of the leading institutes in Switzerland, so it's been validated on chemical processes and pharmaceutical processes. The added benefit is obviously it can be made sterile and can handle both sterile and toxic products, which is something that's quite unique. It doesn't need turning, unlike old technologies. The powder gets turned. Maybe we'll talk about this in a later program. We also in the group have micronizing processes, which really we work in less than 5 microns because we're really looking at the high quality processes, though we do some lower quality processes around the cosmetic industry where we're looking at maybe a slightly larger particle size. We have machines that go down to R&D development, which would be the MC1, up to clinical trials scale systems, which would be maybe the MC50, and then following on to that, the full scale processes, which would include up to the MC300s and 400 machines, which are processing up to 100 kilograms an hour, maybe more depending on the product.
And what sort of products are you supplying right now?
Within the group now,
We also do containment systems, and these systems range from what now will be classed as the standard type system, which would be the ISO charge for charging bags of powder into vessels, toxic powder that is, and through to the ISO tube, another small standard system for handling drums, right through to the ISO dryer, which is used to load product from filter dryers. It's quite a specialist piece of equipment, but nonetheless very important in that area of the industry. Following on from that, we do have, I wouldn't call it a range, but the ability to manage much, much larger projects, and these can be several million euros, where we are talking about having major multi-stage processes which can be contained and maybe not contained depending on the process. These can include anything from multiple dispensing systems through to multiple processing systems.